who wanted this? Like at the end of the day, who stopped themselves and said, you know what I really really need in my life? I need a murdering Winnie the Pooh character. I just don't get it. Like I understand. Like this is here for such a stupid reason. And it blows my mind that it was able to be a thing. Like, they got away with this. And it really feels like they shouldn't have. Like, out of all the things to happen, just the synchronicities that had to line up, where I guess Disney really didn't, like, care, or, like, they dropped the ball and they're too busy playing uh, uh, making sure that any of their other things that they're putting out aren't getting ridiculed or slammed or being attacked. You know, you have Snow White, you have Lightyear, you have all these things that might be causing Disney to go into panic mode. So they just let Winnie the Pooh just slip through, and now he's technically in the public domain. So I think realistically, I think even I could make a Winnie the Pooh movie. Like, why would Disney let that happen? I haven't really read too deeply into the reasoning behind why it happened. I just remember reading that it did happen, and it was just somebody jumped on that so quickly. What are these guys' names again? I believe this is all happening overseas. This is all in England and Britain. Scott Chambers and Reese Frake Waterfield are these guys' names. And Reese is the guy who's writing and directing these, and Scott Chambers is one of the producers on it. So these are the guys that they sat there and they said that, Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain. Let's grab it and let's create a horror version of Winnie the Pooh. And they had announced it in 2022. It is. It's been out for a couple of years. I finally sat down with it after I realized that they also had a sequel that came out, and I wasn't expecting much, and this blew those expectations out of the water. Like the nonsense of a movie this is, the unfortunate nature that is the fact that this movie exists and it's part of the Winnie the Pooh lexicon. You look up Winnie the Pooh, you're gonna find all of the history, and then this crazy thing that they decided to do. And it what I will say is that its premise, okay, I get it. How does it start off? Well, Christopher Robin leaves the forest, and then the creatures of the forest just crave the need to have that sort of bond again, and because they don't get that bond, they turn into ravenous beasts. Even though they don't look like ravenous beasts, they look like toys. You know what I'm saying? Like this what was the budget on this fucking thing? I don't think I saw that the budget was $50,000. So that is very noticeable right off the bat. Obviously, it's got nobody attached to it that means anything. It's all a bunch of no names, at least to me. I don't know, maybe you recognize somebody, but it's all a bunch of no names. The costume design is ridiculous. Nothing looks like any sort of effort was put into it. It really does look like, it sort of looks like the kind of put togetherness that Halloween feels, because all the Michael Myers mask is just a really done up. Uh, who was it? Was it Spock? Or was it William Shatner? It's one of the two. It's some Star Trek dude that the Michael Myers mask is based on. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. It's drawing a blank, but the idea that the Halloween film was able to take that and really turn it into something authentic is, it created a realm of possibilities. The idea of low budget films being successful is very much a thing. But this is low budget on a whole different level. Like, when you're telling me that you didn't put any effort into trying to design something, because he's got human hands. His hands look like human hands. At least from what I remember seeing, every time you see his hands, they look like human hands. They just look like people wearing masks, and they're bad masks at that. They look like mascots more than they look like creatures I should be afraid of. So, oh Jesus Christ, This thing cost $50,000. It made almost $8 million in the box office. Holy shit, that's a return rate I wasn't expecting to see. Okay, so with such a small theoretical release, because I believe it was only released in the United Kingdom, it was able to make close to $8 million, which I'm guessing is the reason why we got a sequel. And not only did we get a sequel, they created something called the Twisted Childhood Universe, or the TCU, or the poohniverse. I don't even want to say that. I feel like I'm going to get demonetized saying the poohniverse, but that's what they're calling it, because not only do they have these two Winnie the Pooh horror films, they also have a Bambi film called Bambi the Reckoning. That's the most recent one. And they also did a Peter Pan one, also earlier this year, called Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So they are creating a universe where, for some reason, they have the rights to take these characters. Blows my mind. They're able to do this and keep going with it, because that's 4 films. That's 4 films in 2 years, and they have more planned. They're trying to build an entire universe they're going to keep doing this with these characters and these storylines. There's a Pinocchio film coming up called Pinocchio Unstrung. There's a 3rd iteration of the Winnie the Pooh film. They have plans to do a Snow White film. They have plans to do a Sleeping Beauty film, an Alice in Wonderland film. There's plans on doing a Tigger film, a Mary Poppins film. What does this say? Poohniverse Monsters Assemble. They're doing a crossover? The team of the Nightmarish Monsters will include returning characters such as Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Owl, Bambi, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Hook, Pinocchio, and the Cricket, while also introducing Rabbit, Sleeping Beauty, the Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat, and others. Oh my god. This you know what's really fucked about the whole thing? This is like what people wanted in like the late 90s, the early 2000s, with like the horror franchise icons. They wanted something where like there was this either big battle or this team up between like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and Chucky and Hellraiser. They wanted all these characters to share the screen together in some capacity, and they only ever got like 2 or 3 at the same time. You got Alien versus Predator, you got Jason versus Freddy. You have those little interesting ones. This is doing that, but it's with beloved childhood characters that they are turning into killing machines. This is so weird to say. What are you talking about? Oh my god, this is so crazy to me. I cannot believe I exist in a time in film where this is a thing that they're doing. And I know I'm not alone in this. Like the only one I've seen so far is this first Winnie the Pooh one. It's got low marks across the board. It's crazy to think that this has made so much money and it was able to create the foundation. This is this guy's Iron Man. Can you friggin' believe that? This is Iron Man to whatever this company is doing. Whoever these guys are, they struck gold with this idea, but it's not even like gold that anybody wanted. For some reason, this failed and succeeded at the exact same time. The ratings are not good for this film, and normally that would kill it, but I guess they're just gonna keep pushing forward. And from what I remember seeing, let me see if I can pull that up again. The general consensus of most of these films. Yeah, so see, every film after the first Winnie the Pooh one has better ratings. Not good, they're just better. But that doesn't defeat the fact that it's just crazy to think that the first one's, like, just taking the Rotten Tomatoes scores. The first one's 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I've seen some pretty low scores on Rotten Tomatoes. That's fucking low. And the second one is 47, which is a huge jump. It kind of makes me want to watch the sequel now. And it's interesting that it was that low and was able to get any movie that usually hits that low buries it forever. And these guys, I don't know who they have the backing for that's able to do this for them, or it's just that yeah, you made 8 million, so yeah, you're just gonna keep running with it, and just hopefully the budget still keeps rolling around, and you're able to keep doing it. I guess like the first Winnie the Pooh, this film. What did I see? Hold on. Okay, so you all know what the Golden Raspberries are, right? The Golden Raspberries is this mock Oscar thing where they don't celebrate who the best of something was. They celebrate who the worst of something was. This thing looks like it won every every nomination it received for the 2024 Raspberry Awards. It got worst picture, it got worst director, it got worst screenplay, it got worst prequel remake ripoff, it even got worst screen couple, with the idea of Pooh and Piglet being on-screen slashers in the film at the same time. I didn't even know there was a fucking category at the Golden Raspberries. This is what I'm saying. This film shouldn't have been this thing that created a universe. I do like how it creates its foundation, but the whole rest of the film is just some random cookie cutter slasher that they probably were like, yeah, this looks like a good film. Let's just slap Winnie the Pooh on there and make some kind of storyline that makes it make sense. Like, the only good part is how they're able to make it where, oh yeah, this is a ravenous creature. Why is he that way? But he still doesn't even look like a ravenous creature. Like, he looks like a guy in a mask. He looks like an action figure at the dollar store. You know what I mean? Like, he does not look good. And if you're a person that praises this movie, by all means, to each their own. It took me a couple of years to even watch the first one. It's probably going to take a couple till I watch any of these other ones. And then by the time I catch up, who knows, maybe poohniverse Assemble is out, and I might just have to watch them all so I can catch up to it, so I understand what's going on.